Tea Party folks are not happy with the latest GOP spending cuts, and neither is my next guest, but he still plans to vote for those very cuts. Illinois Republican Congressman Joe Walsh joining me right now. Congressman, what did you make of the disappointment on the part of that prominent Tea Partier that you guys aren't cutting enough, doing enough?
You know, Neil, in many ways, I'm with her. There's no more Tea Party class than this freshman class, and in this class, there's no more Tea Party freshmen than me, and there's a part of me that's very disappointed that we're just going to extend this for a couple more weeks, get $4 billion in cuts.
Well, you're against that, Congressman?
I don't know. I want to see specifically what the cuts are. But I'll say this, Neil, you got to give the Speaker and the Republican leadership some credit. This freshman class has had an influence on them. There are $4 billion worth of cuts in this 2-week thing, which if you extrapolate that over the course of the year, that pans with, that's on par with what we voted for
No
last
doubt,
week.
Congressman, but those $4 billion in cuts, I believe close to half of them were what the president had sort of marked anyway on his ledger, and the feeling seems to be, at least from some Tea Partiers, not all, you're right, some are sort of giving this time, that you guys are kind of losing your verve.
No, look, I won't let it, and there are too many of us that won't let it happen. Jennifer earlier, I think, alluded to the fact that all politicians want to do is get reelected. That's not the mindset in this freshman class. I mean, look at the influence we've already had on the conference. We've pushed them back up to their pledge. I supported an amendment last week that would have actually increased it to $100 billion in real cuts. And most importantly, Neil, you know, this is step one. We will lead on entitlement reform because the president punted on that. This is a tough call, and maybe if we extend it for 2 more weeks, but that's it. I mean, we voted on
Yeah, but you
amendments.
say that's it, Congressman. You might be willing to stand that ground and stick to that. But I have seen this play out over these few months here, and I'm beginning to wonder, a couple of months, I should say, and I'm beginning to wonder whether you've all become Washingtonized here, and that, you know, that you can't do anything too dramatic, so this $4 billion is the best you can come up with. Just as I heard, these $100 billion in planned cuts were whittled down to about $40 to $50 billion, the excuse being that it was the fiscal year and this is the way it rolled out. And on and on. I take nothing away from how you've changed the equation to looking at not making government bigger, making it smaller, but you can understand people's frustration with you, right?
Absolutely, and I'm that frustrated. And I went home and I heard from constituent after constituent, do I vote to extend government spending for 2 more weeks, even at current spending levels, or should I shut down government? And I got to tell you, most people in my district say shut it down. This country very well may need some sort of shock therapy because we've got to do something. We're broke. And I guess what I'm telling you is this is still how this freshman class feels. And beyond this 2 weeks, you know, we're going to demand that the CR for the rest of this year contains the amendments that we voted on. And then step 2, when we look at a budget, we are going to go after entitlement reform. We have to.
All right, you're talking about congressional resolution. We watch closely. Congressman, a pleasure. Thank you.